Tell us
Yes.
something more about vitality. And when we hear about Lakshman Sharma ji, we only end up talking about vitality and vital economy. These are the two things that are troubling most of the younger naturopaths uh, to understand, and then how to evaluate and how to understand if the vitality is lowered.
Right. In, in fact, we should trace back to some more of the philosophy behind life. As to Vedanta teachings, we have something called prarabdha karma. That means the credit balance that we carry on from the previous janma, previous birth. In the Hindu philosophy, Indian philosophy, it is believed that each one of us have a bank account. Bank name is Karma Bank, and whatever we good act we do is recorded in the credit balance, and whatever bad act we do recorded in the debit balance. But the funny part of the story is not to bring it here, is that it credit and debit depends upon what you think as good or bad. That's a funny part of it, but it is true. Like we when we refer to Vedantic story in the Puranas, Duryodhana, Yudhishthira and all that. Yudhishthira, the brother of Pandavas, he was speaking the truth and their team was following the righteous path. And Duryodhana was following the other's way of the path. So he was labeled as a evil person or bad person, villain of the story. But the real, what you call, effect of his life was not debited to him. He still went to Swarga, means heaven. How did that happen? Because his conscience was always telling him, prodding him, that he has to take revenge on these people because they took the right of his father to be the king. His father was blind, so they put him aside, and the second brother, younger brother, was crowned as the king. So his naturally his sons have to become the king next. So in the process, he developed anger and hatred right from his childhood. So he justified himself to every action that he is only taking revenge for whatever bad was done to his father. So his thought, his consciousness felt that what he was doing is right. How do we apply the same thing in our life practice? Some people are eating very, very good healthy foods and they don't exhibit that healthy features in their body, or they are also suffering from a lot of health issues. Whereas another person who is eating all kinds of food and displaying very healthy body and healthy mind and he is happy. So many people ask this question, why is it that you are saying eat the vegetables, eat the fruits, and he is not doing any of them and he is healthy and this person is not? Very true that when we eat more and more vegetables and fruits, our body becomes very sensible. And my wife many times teases me, you are doing so much nature cure and you are coughing. Coughing is a reaction. Coughing is a reaction to something bad coming into the body or accumulating. Coughing is trying to take out the toxins. So that effort is very active in a person who has followed righteous path. So that is looked at as bad element of the life. He is always sick, he is always coughing. That kind of a label is given to us. Whereas that body is kept clean, even with coughing or whatever, the toxins are thrown out, immediately back to normal health. So another person who seems to be normal and he is eating all kinds of junk food or things like that and he is happy also, has another element working on him. That is accumulation of filth which doesn't react in the body but it shows in the body gradually. Encumbrances that you are talking about, that comes in the long run. Yes, front encumbrance, back encumbrance, side encumbrance, all that extra flesh he is having to carry, but the normal figure that he had has become abnormal figure, uncouth figure. But he is still happy. That happiness comes from what he thinks is right. World is like this, if I am heavy, I am heavy, but I am going to be happy. He is happy. Another person who is following the righteous path, but he is in his mind thinking that he is unfortunate. He has to do more discipline to become healthy. All those thoughts disturb him. And even though he is following a healthy lifestyle, suffers, ends up suffering. These are all different aspects of this karma theory. That is why we say the characteristics of health. What are the signs of good health? In the list of signs of good health, you have one sentence which is called Manaso api prasannata. The healthy person must have a pleasant mind. His body will induce him to be pleasant, but he is entertaining thoughts which are not pleasant. And if he keeps entertaining, even the healthy foods that he is eating will not be digested properly. What a big tragedy here. And he is eating healthy foods and he is not healthy. Another person is not eating healthy food and he is happy and going great in his life.
So it's all in the mind.
Its major part is in the mind. So, in the beginning and in the end, in the middle and in the end, it is only our focus should be to train the mind in order to keep him healthy. That's a very important aspect of nature cure. It is true that sattvic food induces a person to think in sattvic manner, to think for good of everybody, and all these things may be true. But it is also true that we are influenced by the majority of people, and we start calculating our plus and minus in our own manner as given to us by popular people. A wrong practice, when it is practiced by so many people for a long time, is given credit as a right practice, is accepted as normal, as accepted as right. When a thing is accepted as right, when you are not doing that, you will be ridiculed and you will be marked as unfit for society. In good old days, in Indian movies, if you want to be a hero, you must have a cigarette in your hand. What is this? It is totally a wrong concept. Smoking is a bad habit. But those people labeled it as a good habit. Maybe the influence of cigarette companies, or I don't know what. It was considered a style. So all those people who were heroes were, even though he didn't like smoking, in order to become a hero, he had to hold a cigarette, at least hold it, and take it near his mouth. All those things were norms of the society. Oh my God, why do we get into this? It has got everything to do with vitality. We lose our vitality with wrong thoughts. The thoughts that are troubling us will make us lose more vitality than thoughts that may enhances our happiness. Happiness also makes us lose vitality. That's a very funny story. Happiness will make you spend the vitality well, but it also, extra happiness, too much happiness, exciting yourself, will also spend too much vitality. We are going to spend our vitality anyway. Whether you like it or not, we are spending it. So let us understand life in the proper perspective and lead our life in a way that it spends our vitality in the right direction. That's all we can do. Each one of us, no matter what, no matter where you are born, must have a goal of life. I want to be a singer. I want to be a greater singer, you don't have to say. If you want to be a better singer, try to be a better singer, that's all. Don't say you want to be the greatest singer. That should not be the goal. So we have to understand when we are talking about goals. I want to be a singer, I want to be a dancer, I want to be a painter, I want to be a public speaker. Whatever you want to be, that can be a goal. But all that you have to do is you do your better. Whatever you are performing today, try to do it better than that. Yoga karmasu kaushalam. That's all. Yoga is perfection personified. Yoga is communion with God. God is perfection personified. So when you are combining your activity to perfection, that is, you are trying to do your activity better and better, you get happiness, satisfaction, and you will get fulfillment of life. And if you do better and better, then you get such a reward from your own work that you don't need anything else. Even if you don't get paid, it's all right. There were so many years when I used to get so upset about my father and grandfather, who were very simpletons. They were treating so many people successfully, but they were not making money. Whatever people gave, they accepted. I was not there. I was totally out of that concept. I said, this is not right. I have to make money. Why should I give free service? So I went to Hyderabad, tried agriculture, brick making, all kinds of things. Everywhere I was beaten and brought back to nature. God pulled me by the ear and put it here. A place where I didn't want to be. That's where I was supposed to be. That's why God put me there. Every business I did was a technical success. I should not forget that. But commercial failure. What good is commercial failure if it is, even if it's the best product you made? I made the best bananas and from our trees, banana trees, planting double trees in one pit. It's a new technique. In 1 acre they usually plant 600. I planted 1200 by planting north-south 2 pits, 2 bananas in one pit. Bananas have the tendency to grow together well, and they love each other's company. They grow even better, it seems. So temperament of bananas people have studied, and they have taught me that. And it was successful. Of course, all the information, knowledge that I gained from every field, that's helpful in every career that I do. Everything that I do, those informations have been useful. Leave that alone. Let's coming back to vitality. Expenditure of vitality to promote your goals is not a waste. Expenditure of vitality in areas where it doesn't take you to your goal but taking it somewhere else gives you temporary pleasure is going to be a waste in the long run. Every action has 2 reactions. Science says every action has an equal and opposite reaction. It talks about only one reaction. But the Vedanta talks about 2 reactions. One is an immediate reaction, which is called in Sanskrit as preyas. Another is an ultimate reaction, which is called in Sanskrit as shreyas. As the word suggests, this shreyas, it stays for a longer time. The longer effect, ultimate effect, stays for a longer time, whereas the immediate effect is fleeting, changing. You eat jalebis, you like it, oh, very nice. You eat more jalebis, you don't enjoy it so much. More and more jalebi. My son was asking for jalebi. We bought 200 grams of jalebi to his brother and some to him. He says, well, he didn't ask, it's all mine. He says, today we have given it to him, we can't snatch it. Tomorrow I will buy 200. Will you eat the whole thing? Yes, I will eat it. Next day we bought 200 grams and gave it to him, the whole. He ate the whole thing. Yes, I am going to eat. First one he ate fast. Second was slower. Third was even slower. He couldn't eat. And he was just biting on one end for a long time. I said, finish it. He says, yes, I will finish it. Because he said he will finish it. And somebody called me Sharmaji from the door, so I ran out to see him. He finished it and told him and go. Immediately he gave the packet to his younger brother and ran away. We can't eat more than necessary. Exercise is troublesome in the beginning. It's painful. But continuing to do exercise will make it easier to do exercise, and you are getting long-lasting fitness in the body. Fitness is what you have to work for. Lasting benefit is what you have to look for. Any action which will bring immediate good reaction but ultimate bad reaction, don't follow the system. Any action which will bring immediately not such a pleasurable experience but ultimate good benefit, follow that. That's what this verse tells us. Sarvasya dvaifale prayah viruddhe cha parasparam adau chalam phalam paschat phalam sthirataram bhavet. So that's why we say later effect is what you have to look into. If the later effect is lasting, follow anything, any practice that will give a lasting later effect.
The shloka that you recited now?
It is from Swadhina Swastya Mahavidya, composed by my grandfather. And it is only a derivative from Bhagavad Gita and all that. So, whatever he composed, they are research work done out of Upanishads, Vedas, and all the Niti Shastras, like Manu Niti, Sarvam Paravasham Dukkham, Sarvam Atmavasham Sukham. Dependence on others is source of misery. Self-dependence is a source of happiness. So these are all laws which can never change. And when we depend on these laws and adopt our principles and practice according to them, abiding with them, our life is a pleasant garden. Now we are talking about vitality again.
How to understand, how to read vital signs.
We cannot any time say he has got vitality for 4 years, he has got vitality for 10 years, and we cannot say. Only thing that we can say whether he is going to live for another day or two. Only in the end, when everything is drained, we can find out that this person will survive or not. So, because that is also a mystery, we have to be extra careful to see that we don't waste away our vitality. Of course, behind all this, there is another principle which supersedes all this. What makes you happy, do it. Don't later on lament that I didn't get to do this. Fully understanding doing this will result in this. Accept it. Like Abraham Lincoln, not Abraham Lincoln, Washington. So he accepted his father that he broke the apple tree. He spoke the truth. And he didn't get the punishment, he was appreciated for speaking the truth. When you are willing to take the punishment, your punishment is much less. You fully understand, if I overeat, tomorrow I have to fast. Don't eat so much that even one day fasting is not enough. So that happened to me sometimes. There was a festival going on, 3 times, first day, three times, second day, it was all deviated from my normal healthy food. Eating all that, some people keep surviving. But for me, body becomes sensitive and it doesn't allow that. So I was fasting on one day, and at the end of the day, I usually break my fast with some fruits. And my wife said, it's already 4 o'clock, why don't you break my fast? I said, I'm feeling a little weak. The rule says that I have to continue my fast until I feel strong. She said, okay. Next day I became more weak. And more weak. I couldn't even get up and walk. 15 days of fasting. And then 15 days of gradual building up to eat. Gradual exercise. That brought me back to normal. Whole month of suffering for just 2 days of violation. So that's a sensitive body. Thank God I did that because I am not accumulating any permanent filth in the body. For otherwise, you will get this disease, that is, in the latent stage, I will be looking all right, but I will be entertaining too many diseases inside. Can't hold up for long. So vitality has to be spent in a manner that it will satisfy the goal of your life. And it could be anything. In order to get to the goal, there are certain things which you need to do to keep your mind also cooperating. You can't keep on fasting, you can't keep on taking diet. Sometimes you have to deviate. Don't go overboard anything. Don't go to extremes. So when you cannot judge how much vitality you have, the best bet is to safeguard it. And whenever there is one way is through pranayama, I told you. Exhale and hold the breath. You are not working. Your lungs are not working and lungs are resting. And you are living and not suffering. Little by little that recurring deposit will accumulate some extra vitality in you. In the same way, do a lot of running, come and rest. Completely in a flat, hard floor. And after 5 minutes, you are recuperating. All the exercise has come into your body and your circulation is better. Now your body is not struggling to circulate the blood. It's not only for the heart and lungs, it's only also for the nerves.
So that is not seen as vitality draining.
Yes, because we are aiming to keep a fit body, even if you have to spend too much vitality for running, heart is pumping fast, lungs are working fast, kidney has to work a little more. All this is okay to pump up and clean up and then relax. You are compensating by relaxing for some time, not doing anything. That is conservation of vitality. And you spend it where it is necessary. If you don't do that, you can also follow some people I know. They go on reducing the quantity of food, reducing their activity, reducing their wants. I want this, I want this. That's another method, which I don't want to go that way. Some people become a sannyasi or even living in households. You say it's okay. You all eat. I'm there. I'm all right. They just smile. They don't laugh. Okay. Shanti. That's too much for me. Economy is about the mind. Entirely about the mind. If you are satisfied with whatever you have, you can continue to live for 100 years or even more without much activity, eating small quantity of food, engaging in few little things. But
So-
if a person wants to be active, it's okay. It's okay to die in 60, or it's okay to die in 80 or whatever. But until the last day, you are active. Rajaji lived 100 years, but he was very active until the last day. Morarji Desai lived for 100 years. He was very active.
Even
Winston
Gandhiji.
Churchill lived for 100 years, but 10 years of his last life was spent in
Sick.
hospital, particularly in Nature Cure Hospital. As a last resort, he came to a Nature Cure Hospital.
By then his vitality was drained.
Oh.
Yeah.
He had so much vitality because he was smoking continuously, drinking, all that. He squandered it away. Still, he could live. Because his parents' health was very good, he was blessed with a lot of vitality. And he was a very smart person, no doubt. So that's the story of vitality.
Vitality. So why it assumed such an important thing in nature cure, like every disease is linked to lowered vitality.
Yeah, vital economy. Economizing expenditure of vitality is the secret of life. So when you are sick, instead of putting some drugs to reduce the pain, what does the drug do? Drug makes you not feel the pain, but the pain is there. And that means you have not reduced your vitality. In fact, you are making it work more. When it makes you know the pain, you correct your mistakes. When you are made to not realize the pain, you continue your mistake. That's what happens to all of us. Oh, I have this medicine. When I was in teenage, my friends used to tease me. And आ गया भाई घास फूस का doctor. That's because I talk to them about what I know, and they say घास फूस का doctor है. देख भाई अरुण, मेरे पास ये पिल है. मेरे को सर दर्द होता है तो ये खा लेता हूँ, बस गया. I don't have to take peta juice. I don't have to take grass juice. I don't have to do fasting. Why? I just take a pill and I'm happy. I said, wow, you got a good method. I don't argue with him, I laugh with him. They are friends.
Yes.
After some time, 2-3 months, his wife calls me. भाई साहब कैन यू कम, ये इनको बहुत सर दर्द हो रहा है. मेरा आना क्या फ़ायदा, वो तो दवाई खाता है, मेरा नहीं सुनेगा. नहीं नहीं, उन्होंने बुलाया है, उन्होंने बुला के कड़वा से कड़वा दवाई दे दो, हम ले लेंगे, प्लीज़ आ जाओ, माफ़ करो. जो मजाक करता था तो उसी ने बुलाया. उसके घर में गया तो आओ भाई अरुण बैठो, बिठाया. तुम जैसे कहेगा वो कड़वा दवाई भी ले लूँगा, लेकिन एक शर्त है मेरा. शर्त क्या लगा सकता, तेरा कंडीशन नहीं. मैं कहता हूँ एक ही बात है, वो क्या है, कुछ भी दवाई दे दे लेकिन मेरी चाय मत बंद कर. He used to take 30 cups of tea every day. He has customers coming in his shop. चाय लाना भाई, उनके लिए चाय पी रहे, ये भी पी रहे. At least 30 cups every day he used to take. He says मेरी चाय मत बंद करना. मैंने उनकी वाइफ को बोला, भाभी जी इनको सुबह पेठा का रस देना, 2 घंटे तक कुछ नहीं देना, फिर फल देना, फिर 3 घंटे तक कुछ नहीं देना, फिर इनको सलाद देना. इनका पहला कप जो है ना वो मत देना, पहला कप चाय नहीं देना. यूजुअली फर्स्ट कप स्टार्ट 6 o'clock और समथिंग, फर्स्ट कप नहीं देना. उसने आँख मार दिया. I said, why is she winking his eye? Winking is her eyes. So I went away. When I came in the evening, he started fighting with me. I told you not to stop my tea. Why did you do this? I said, I didn't stop your tea. I only said, don't give him the first cup of tea. That was the problem. Whenever I ask her a tea and she says, if I give you the tea now, it will be your first cup. Doctor said, no first cup of tea. अरे फर्स्ट कप को उठा के कूड़े में फेंक, मेरे को दूसरा कप लाओ. मैं तो दूसरा कप लाऊं, लेकिन आप पियोगे तो वो फर्स्ट कप होगा, फिर नहीं दे सकती. अरे इसने तो मेरा जान खा लिया, क्या करूं इसके साथ. He can't fight with his wife. He is fighting with me. I said, आप चाय पीनी है. मैंने यार छोड़ दिया पूरा दिन के लिए, अब छोड़ गया. Then he didn't take tea for the rest of the week and he got rid of his migraine headache, following the cure. So what? We have to play some tricks with everything. And now I knew why she winked. I just told her first cup of tea, meaning only the morning tea. She took it in the other sense and she used it as a weapon to cut his tea off completely.
Since fasting plays a major role in all naturopathic treatments, and there's so many now theories of autophagy has come, and then calorie restriction has come, and then half day fasting, intermittent fasting, and 2 days fasting, 3 days fasting,
Yes.
and 21-day fasting. Actually, what is this fasting all about?
There are types of fasting and kinds of fasting. When you say kinds of fasting, political fasting is one. हमारी मांगे पूरी करो कहते हैं. For getting something, Gandhi started this movement as Satyagraha for the nation. He truly meant to fast and truly meant to do a penance, not with anger, but with peace of mind. But the whole thing was turned around as a political fast and with anger. हमारी मांगे पूरी करो and anger, and they're shouting and we will fast until death, all those things they say. They tried 1 or 2 days, they couldn't do it. So they changed the trick. So these people do relay fasting. That means
You do, I
fully
continue.
eating and coming back, sitting there, and the next person will go and eat. He will be sitting there first for some time shouting, and then the next person will come and fast. It's not fasting. They eat and come. So just to tease somebody, they were all sitting. I went and told one person close by, and told, at least brush away the rice which is sticking to your cheeks. Oh, he immediately brushed. Then I knew that he had eaten already. There was nothing in the cheek. I just teased him. So that's political fasting, which is of no use. With an intention of getting something and with anger. When you perform fast, the effect of such fast will be miserable and ill effects will be there. Another kind of fasting is experimental fasting. They say if you fast until 6 o'clock in the evening, we will give you 1,000 rupees. We will examine your body at the end of the day, and we will write our report, and you will get 1,000 rupees. That man who is fasting in the room alone, he is thinking about what all he can buy for the 1,000 rupees, so he could have a good food. Those thoughts induce gastric juice secretion, and he gets pain in the stomach. So the deduction, scientific experiment deduction is fasting gives weakness. Another fasting is accidental fasting. A person is busy, his customers are coming, he didn't get to eat his lunch, it's 4 o'clock already in the evening. Then he breaks into his lunch box and he grabs food and eats so fast. The effect of such fasting is also bad. So fasting, some people say religious fasting. They say I'm fasting from salt, and they eat a lot of sweets and fill their stomach. Some people say I'm fasting from grains, they eat potatoes and chips and all kinds of things, fill their stomach. Fasting does not mean you have to fill your stomach. Fasting means abscond from all kinds of eating, abstain from eating all kinds of food, and with a sense of sacrifice, with a sense of calmness, not with the eagerness of doing some. I did it. मैं तो हर एकादशी को फास्ट करती हूँ. My grandfather's younger brother's wife, मेरी छोटी दादी, she used to fast every Ekadashi, but she will come into the front porch and sit there. Hey Saroja, come here. What did you make for your lunch? She will keep on asking what all they made for lunch. They're like, तुम्हारे तो मजे हैं, मेरा तो एकादशी है. अपनी रोती रहती है. उन्होंने बोला अच्छा गरिमा आप क्या खाए सुबह? एक इडली, थोड़ा कॉफ़ी, बस सांभर थोड़ा, ऐसे बैठे. उसका एक इडली का हमें मालूम है कितना बड़ा है. It's called Kanjivaram idli. It's a big plate full of holes. You put butter in it and then steams it. It's equivalent to 12 idlis. That is Ekadashi for her. वहाँ एक इडली खाए. She doesn't cut them. एक ही इडली खाती है. And the coffee, half a kilo of milk is boiled down to quarter kilo, and then she adds decoction and sugar, and she drinks that strong coffee. What is fasting then? There is no fasting. Lunch again, she takes a bowl of fruits. Grains I can eat only one time. So that she takes a grain in the morning. That's not fasting when you fill your stomach. Another friend of mine, he says, Sharmaji, I fasted for 18 hours. There's no use. I said, when did you start your fasting? Morning. So what did you eat before fasting? Full meal.